Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty back with Time Only Knows, where we're trying to find out who tried to kill us. We suspect it was our girlfriend, but who's that? Hello again, Dr. Keiko. That sounded like a massive ruckus in the hallway just now. How did the Shirls react? When I told them that part of your memories had come back and that it turned out not to be a suicide attempt but rather a murder attempt disguised as a suicide, they were all extremely disturbed. And when I said it was very likely that the culprit was your girlfriend, that is to say Shirl Satome, they all vehemently insisted that they would never try to kill you. I'm not sure we should have told them that much. I told them that I would call each of them in one at a time so that we could talk to them and identify the culprit. I feel like a few well-placed phone calls could have solved this way easier. They all go to school. Well, one doesn't, but she did recently. But each of them was begging me to let them see you right away. Pacifying them was difficult. All three of them are reacting as though they were my real girlfriend. It might be weird to ask this now, but why are the fake Shirls continuing to play out this lie? What would the imposter have to gain by pretending to be your girlfriend? That's what I want to know. If we want to know that for sure, we'll have to identify the real Shirl Satome. You know, I was really under the impression this was a time travel type game, and apparently it isn't. I don't know how I came up. I also thought this game involved werewolves. I think I had some sort of weird dream involving werewolves in this style, and my mind just kind of melded them together. I was real confused for a moment, but if we want to know that for sure, we'll have to identify the real Shirl Satome. The one who tried to kill me as quickly as possible. You're right. I'll call in the first Shirl then, the cheerleader. All right. This is the most suspicious one. Cheerleader, come in. Hello?
Shorty, I never tried to kill you, I swear.
Well, but based on the circumstances, it's impossible that the culprit was anyone other than my girlfriend. That is not true. And if you are indeed the real Shirl Satome, then that means you're the culprit.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. You can't be serious. Why would I kill you after the way we loved each other?
Well, I don't have any memory of that love. Dr. Keiko told you, right? I feel like the smarter option would have been to just wait until we got all our memories back and then confronted the real culprit. Right now, all I can remember is that someone tried to kill me and set it up to look like a suicide.
You don't remember anything about me?
No, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
It was only a few hours ago, within half an hour or so, that someone tried to kill you, right? But we've been dating for 3 months and you don't even remember my face? You don't know that I'm the real Shirl Satome?
Well, as I just explained, my memories are...
We saw each other every weekend. When I had days off from practice, I stayed at your place. We took trips together. We went on so many dates. It may have only been 3 months, but I felt like our relationship was something deep and real, so why don't you remember me? And now you're treating me like a murderer. I can't believe this. It's so awful. You know I would never try to kill you.
Oh, whoa, don't cry, please. Hey, cheerleader, it isn't Shorty's fault that he doesn't remember you. It's not reasonable to blame him.
But...
Something happens that you don't like, so you get emotional and start raising hell. There's no reasoning with you, so a proper discussion can't be had. Right now, you're the epitome of the female image that men used to put forth long ago. When I see you acting this way, it irritates me as a fellow woman. If you can't quit screaming and crying, then leave. Hey, hang on. Dr. Keiko, you're going too far. Am I? I just don't want to waste any time. Just so we're clear, I'm going to handle the other Shirls the same way when you meet with them. If they get worked up and the conversation stops going anywhere, I'm going to make them leave. Shorty, your objective is to find the real Shirl Satome and make her confess. Do you really have the time to listen to a girl crying when you don't know whether she's real or fake?
I'm the real Shirl Satome, but I never tried to kill Shorty.
Ugh, God, both of you, please calm down.
I am calm.
I am calm. I'm going to ask you some questions now, Shirl, so please answer them. Dr. Keiko, please just keep quiet and watch.
Okay, I will.
Fine. Now start asking. Now, the first thing I want to ask is, do you have a spare key? What is your alibi for the time of the incident? Or let me smell you. She is the one that smells the most like it. So, I'm going to pick that first. This is actually a request rather than a question.
Okay, what is it?
I want you to let me smell you.
Huh? Smell me?
I feel like we could have just asked her for a hug. Like I told you, Shorty was saying that one of the 3 Shirls had the same smell as the culprit. He wants to smell you as part of his attempt to identify the culprit.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's fine. What part of me do you want to smell, though?
Huh?
Do you want to smell my hair or my body?
I'll admit I wasn't expecting that question. Okay, what should I smell? Left breast, right breast, above breast, below breasts, entire chest. I would say above because it was around her neck. What the hell is with these options? Why are all of them about her chest? What's the point in dividing it into 4 parts like that? What are you even talking about right now? I'm just shocked with my own less-driven brain for only coming up with depraved options.
You can be honest about what part of my body you want to smell.
Please don't say that sort of thing that could be screenshotted and taken out of context. People might mistake our genre here. Just a second, let me actually think carefully about this. The neck. Armpit, belly button, bottom, sole of foot, everywhere except this is actually kind of worse. Armpit, belly button, bottom. I'll just say belly button because that's somehow the less creepy. These ones make me sound like even more of a freak than the ones before. What the hell? Whoever wrote up this set of choices must be a real idiot. This isn't going anywhere, so let's just hug like normal people. I think I should be able to get your smell from that just fine. That's what I was saying.
Okay, here goes then.
This feeling in her arms. Hey, you have had plenty of time to smell her now. No, just a little more. Give me 5 more minutes. No, absolutely not. Cheerleader, let go of Shorty.
Oh, I wanted to hug a bit more.
So, Shorty, what do you think? She was really soft. I mean her smell. It was the fragrance of a very sexy perfume, something like roses. Incidentally, it's completely different from how the culprit smelled. I'm surprised.
Of course it is. I'm Cheryl Satome, but I'm not the culprit. I'm sorry, Shorty, but I think your reasoning that your girlfriend Cheryl Satome is the one who did it is wrong.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question then. Do you have a spare key? Do you have a spare key to my apartment?
Yes, I do. You gave it to me.
Do you have it with you right now?
Of course, here.
That's true. Your key and mine are a perfect match. This is definitely a spare key.
You're asking about the key because the culprit used his spare key to get in and out of your apartment, right? You think that the person who has your spare key must be the culprit?
Well, yeah.
I do have the spare key, but I'm not the culprit.
What are we going to do if the other two also have spare keys?
Also, I'm not sure about this idea that whoever has the key must be the one. Do you see the culprit? Did you see the culprit holding the spare key? Did you see them using it?
No, I didn't. I just heard the sound of the front door being locked.
Well, then couldn't they have used a tool to pick the lock like burglars do?
I don't think that would let them relock it, though. I suppose so.
Also, getting a spare key made is simpler than you might think, Shorty. All you have to do is borrow the key you want to copy, trace it onto a sheet of paper with pencil, and reconstruct it with clay. Even an amateur could do it easily.
I'm surprised you know all that.
Yep, I saw it in a foreign drama.
That's not something you see in foreign dramas, but this is a pretty cheap pin tumbler lock key. It probably wouldn't be hard to duplicate it.
Right? So I think it's too hasty to assume that someone carrying a spare key must be the culprit.
Shoot, that does feel like a sound argument. It is a sound argument. Now that I think about it, anyone who is of the mind to make a duplicate key could make one. There is also the possibility that they picked the lock to get in and out. Meaning we can't treat her like the culprit just because she has a spare key. So you've lost one part of your basis for your inference that your girlfriend, Cheryl Satome, is the one who did it. Ugh, my reasoning is breaking down. Okay, I'll move on to the next question then. Alibi. Please tell me your alibi for during the murder attempt. I got home around 5 p.m. today. I was dragged by the culprit into the tent with a lit charcoal briquette around 5:40. And it was after 6 that I was brought to the hospital. So I'd like to know where you were and what you were doing between 5 and 6 p.m. today.
I always thought alibi was the sort of word you only hear in police dramas. You really do suspect me then, Shorty.
I'm sorry to doubt you. Hey, the cheerleader could be the one who tried to kill you. Don't apologize to a suspect for doubting them. I guess you're right. When a girl this cute looks at me with those big sad eyes, I just can't help wanting to apologize. You understand, right? No, I don't understand at all. Look, how do you expect to find the culprit at this rate? You said that one of the 3 Cheryls had the same smell as the culprit. You have a few pieces of circumstantial evidence that point to the culprit being Cheryl Satome, and you're using those as your basis in your attempts to pin them down now. So you shouldn't hesitate to doubt people. You can't worry about making somebody sad or angry. Ugh, yes, thank you for your strict words.
You're not very good at doubting people, Shorty, I know. You've always been that way, even during the stalking incident. When the police said it might be one of your coworkers, you got super depressed. You said you didn't want to suspect any of them. I'll answer your question. Between 5 and 6 today, I was doing club stuff at school. I was at cheerleading practice.
All right, I see. Thank you very much. No, not thank you very much. You can't just end at the declaration of an alibi. That could have been a lie just now. You have to ask whether she has any evidence to back it up. Right, but what kind of proof would there be if she was at practice? Should we call the school or something? We should call the school. Call all the schools.
You don't have to do that. I do have evidence to support my alibi. Here, look at my phone. This video will make it obvious.
This is a school campus in the evening. I see a school building in the center of the screen, lit up by the setting sun. Oh, now there's a bunch of cheerleaders. Is this footage of your cheerleading practice?
Yep, it is. Our cheer squad always takes videos like this when we're practicing our dance moves or stunts, since the movements we visualize in our head are completely different from what outside onlookers see. Taking videos is the best way to make the two match up. The footage is sent out to all the members of the club.
You really go all out.
Yep, the cheer team at our school is really strong. A lot of money and labor goes into our practices. We practice later into the day than any other clubs, and we have morning practice almost every day. There are also a lot of people who end up quitting because they can't keep up with the training.
A woman wearing a jersey just walked in front of the camera.
She's the instructor for the team.
Dr. Keiko, did you hear that? The instructor just said stunt performance practice XXXXXX through the megaphone. X to Vex. That's today. They really could have just given us normal dates instead of all these X's. Yes, it is. Very helpful of her to give the entire date down to the year. It would indeed seem that this footage was taken today. However, I don't see the most crucial element, Cheryl, anywhere.
I'll show up soon. Watch the right of the screen.
It's Cheryl. Cheryl's right here, right at the top of the formation. Man, that's amazing. Why did cheerleader uniforms have to be so cute? I do like cheerleader uniforms. I'd like to give a national honor award to whoever thought up that outfit. Whoa, everyone just did a backflip at once, and that one messed up the backflip and fell down? Yeesh, that looked like it hurt. She's grazed all over. Look at all that dust, though. How do you practice in such a dried-out schoolyard? Wouldn't it be better to practice in the gym or something so you don't get hurt as bad if you fall down? Wouldn't you get hurt falling on that hard wooden floor?
Yes, we would prefer that, but the basketball and volleyball teams use the gyms. It would be nice if we could at least practice our tumbling moves indoors.
Oh man, cheerleader practice is a lot harder than I imagined it would be.
Yeah, cheerleading has kind of a flashy image, but it's actually a pretty hardcore athletic activity.
I can tell. Well, I'm glad you showed me that. Would you mind sending it to me later? Hey, Shorty, this isn't about artistic appreciation. There's something more important for you to be looking at. I'm watching. The whole screen is under evening lighting, and the clock in the schoolyard says 5:20. And this video, hang on, let me just fast forward, ends at 5:40. 5:40 is when you woke up after being drugged. Well, that settles that. The cheerleader's alibi is valid. She's innocent.
Are you convinced now, Shorty? As you can see from this video, I'm not the one who did it. I don't want you to misunderstand, though. I am Cheryl Satome. I'm your girlfriend. In other words, the reasoning that Cheryl Satome must be the culprit is wrong, see?
I can't refute that. I don't rule out anything. There's still a chance that video was faked. I think that's about it for my questions for now. Alright, a few things have become clear from the questions you asked the cheerleader. Anyone could make a duplicate key for your apartment. She has an alibi for the time of the crime, and she smells different from the culprit. We don't know whether she's the real Cheryl Satome, but it at least seems certain that she isn't the culprit. Your theory that the culprit was
Cheryl Satome came from the fact that they had a spare key and that one of us three smelled the same as them, right? But as I've already said, anyone could make a duplicate key, and they could have picked the lock, too. Also, isn't it possible that one of us just happens to wear the same perfume as the culprit? So I don't think your theory holds up.
I agree. Shorty's reasoning that the culprit was his girlfriend, Cheryl Satome, has broken down completely. But then, who in the world tried to kill me? I don't have the slightest idea. Maybe it's the pigtail girl's little sister. Maybe we should bring the police in and have them investigate. That might be best. A bunch of amateurs playing detective won't lead to any satisfactory results.
Shorty, I actually have one idea about who the culprit might be.
What? Who?
The stalker who was harassing you and your students. Like I said before, the stalker broke into your apartment. And not just once or twice. You had the lock itself replaced, but they kept getting in. So wouldn't that mean the stalker had a way of unlocking your door?
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's not like a stalker would have a spare key to my place. And yet, somehow they broke in multiple times.
The stalker did a lot to your students, too, not just you. And they sent that letter telling us to break off our contracts with you. The stalker wasn't just harassing you directly. They were trying to isolate you socially. You were actually on the verge of being fired, you know? When you went to them talk to the police, they said it was very likely that the stalker had a strong sort of grudge against you. That they were coming and going from your apartment with a strong grudge. And yet the police couldn't be bothered to watch my building in plain clothes. I really think the stalker could be the culprit. You're right. Why didn't it occur to me before? It must be the stalker. Just to conclusions way too easily.
The stalker would have had both the motive and opportunity to kill me. Well, I don't know why the stalker hates me that much, but...
Stalking ended a month ago, but maybe it was really just on hold instead of actually over? And today it resumed in the worst way possible.
The theory of a stalker as the culprit does feel more credible than Cheryl Satome is the culprit. Yeah, I agree.
Well, for now, we've proven that I'm not the culprit. But, and I know I've said this a jillion times already, I'm Cheryl Satome, okay? I'm your girlfriend.
All three of you are saying the same thing, so neither Shorty nor I can trust you that easily. None of you have any personal identification stating that you're Cheryl Satome. Seriously, do you not have any conclusive proof of that claim?
Conclusive proof? Oh, I have an idea. Just a second. Here, look at this picture on my phone.
This is a picture in a hospital. There's a thin man lying on the bed, and the cheerleader and I are standing on either side of him. Is the man in the bed your father, cheerleader?
Yes, he is. We had this picture taken of the three of us when you and I went to visit him together. When I told him about you, he absolutely insisted that he wanted to meet you. So I took you with me to the hospital.
How old does the man look? Your father has dilated cardiomyopathy, right? He does look well, though. Yeah, he's got color in his face, he's grinning. You'd hardly think he had an incurable disease.
You don't have to tiptoe around it like that. As you can see, he's skin and bones. He doesn't look well at all. He could pass away at any time.
Don't say that. I know he'll make it. He's getting a heart transplant overseas, right?
Yes, but we don't know for sure if that'll save him.
It will, don't worry. I just know he'll make it. You have nothing to feel anxious about, Cheryl.
Hee.
What? Why are you laughing?
Because that's the same thing because you said the same thing to Dad.
I know this will save you. You can be at
I know this will save you. You can be at ease. It was your first time meeting him, and you took him by the hand and said, Cheryl and I are going to find the best doctor in the best hospital, so leave it all to us. Hee. When you went to visit Dad, you and I had only been dating for a few months, but you told him that he would be able to attend our wedding without a wheelchair.
Geez, that's a lot.
Right? And then he said, Dad, you can't die before you've seen our children. I was like, what is this guy saying?
Making arbitrary declarations about marriage and children with your girlfriend of a few months without even consulting her. Another thing that's making me think just now that Dr. Keiko might be the bad guy is that these games, at least the newer ones, have a habit of letting you pick your girlfriend at the end. And if one of them tried to murder us, I don't know if they'd still let us pick her. Although they did technically let us pick a would-be murderer in one of the other games, so it's not impossible, but, well, we'll see. Making arbitrary declarations about marriage and children with your girlfriend of a few months without even consulting her. Yeah, I'm actually so shocked that I'm impressed. There's something seriously wrong with your head, Shorty. Yeah, that's pretty shocking. I may not remember it, but I'm embarrassed now.
I never imagined you would say something like that upon meeting your girlfriend's dad for the first time, when we hadn't even been together a year. Just thinking about it still makes me laugh. But I understand why you did it. You wanted to make Dad smile, right? You wanted to make him happy. That's why you said all of that, right?
Well, maybe. Since I don't remember, I can't say for sure.
I wish I could show you the look Dad had on his face then. He was absolutely astonished.
Well, it was their first time meeting, and he was told that this guy would build a happy family with his daughter. That's pretty surprising.
But he did smile. He was laughing aloud. He said, I know you said you'd found a nice guy, but I didn't think he'd be so hasty. And you told him, I was determined to make you smile today. I love making people smile. When I see other people smiling, it makes me feel like I can be happy too somehow. In that moment, I fell for you all over again. I realized what an amazing person my boyfriend was. I thought, if God allows it, I want to be with this guy forever and ever.
Hey, Cheryl, why are you crying? I wonder if we dated all these women, but, like, separately.
Sorry, even I'm not sure why.
But the fact that you have this picture with your father, does that mean you really are Cheryl Satome? No, not necessarily. You can't call this picture with her father conclusive proof.
What? How can you say that? I brought him to see my father in the hospital and had this picture taken. How could he be anything but my boyfriend?
No, I don't agree with that. Supposing you were, say, his sister, it would be easy for you two to get a shot of the two of you and your father.
If I were related to Shorty by blood, I would have said so at the start.
It's about time. Sure, did you have anything left you want to ask her? As long as there's no flirting, I will allow some chatting or small talk. All right, just one then. Want to know more about you, or I want to hear about the stalker? I feel like we've heard everything about the stalker, so I'll say I want to know more about you. Would you mind showing me what you have in your bag?
In my bag?
Yeah, what I mean is, I want to know what you carry around with you. You see EDC features in a lot of social media and stuff. EDC? Everyday something? What a person carries with them every day shows their personality. Everyday carries? I was just thinking that I'd like to see your belongings to get a better idea of what kind of person you are. EDC, erectile dysfunction? Everyday Carrie. Erectile dysfunction is just ED. Why the hell would there be erectile dysfunctions features on social media? I mean, social media is pretty freaky, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Hehe, Shorty, you shouldn't talk about those sort of things in front of a girl. Alright, I'll just give you my bag.
Did we get that pen out of the trash yet? Thank you. So your bag is a backpack by an outdoor brand. Its volume is probably about 20 liters. It's heavier than it looks. First, I'll open the exterior sub-pocket. Deodorant, tissues, a handkerchief, and a memo pad. Now the main pocket. Textbooks and notebooks, a pencil case, a wallet, a makeup pouch, and a bloody knife? What's this? At the bottom of the main pocket, there's a big bag wrapped in clear plastic. What is...
Huh? No, don't look at that. Don't touch it.
What? Why?
It's the Talon undergarments I use for cheer practice. They're all sweaty and dirty. I'm pretty sure you'd think I was gross if I showed them to you.
I mean, she could be telling the truth, but alternatively, she could be hiding something. Of course, if she showed up here with evidence, I'd be pretty dumb of her. Oh ho, a sweaty Talon used underwear? That sounds like a prize to me. How much would I have to offer you for you to sell them to me?
I can't sell these no matter how much you pile on.
Still, the contents of your bag are surprisingly normal. It's all the sort of inexpensive stuff that students carry around, and not a single expensive brand item.
Well, yeah, students don't really have a lot of money.
You're telling me you don't have a part-time job of some kind? With a face like yours, you could easily fake your age and work at a girls' bar or a hostess club. You'd shoot past Shorty's annual income in about 2 seconds. Please don't encourage someone to lie about their age so casually.
Cheerleading keeps me too busy for a job. Oh, but there was just one time that I took a part-time job so I could buy you a present, Shorty.
A present for me? Yes, I knew it was the pen!
Yeah, that celluloid fountain pen on the side table was a present from me. It was made the year you were born. I bought it from a stationery shop specializing in antiques. It came at a pretty good price.
Wow, I'm sorry I don't remember that.
Don't worry about it. You have amnesia, so it's not like you can help it. Anyway, I'm just happy that you were carrying it with you. Once I decided I wanted to give you a fountain pen, I walked around visiting a lot of different shops. I can still see the look on your face when I gave it to you. I've never seen a smile like that before. You got all excited like a little kid. It was really cute.
You put all that thought into one present for me? Man, I'm a lucky guy. Sounds like I found myself a pretty great girlfriend.
Oh, for sure.
No, hang on. It's not certain that the cheerleader is Cheryl. That whole thing about the fountain pen could be completely made up. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. You're ready to believe that she's Cheryl Satome just because she was a little bit nice to you. And from a tiny anecdote like that, you jump right into the assumption that she's your girlfriend. You are about as simple as they come. You're going to get scammed sooner or later.
By the way, Shorty, I've been curious about this for a while. Did I know you had 2 phones?
Huh? What do you mean?
The phone sitting on the side table there is yours, right?
Yeah, it was in the pocket of my jeans, so I assume it's the one I always use.
No, it's not. That isn't your usual phone. Your phone is one you got from an auction. It's an older generation than that and a little beat up.
Really? I guess I just haven't remembered that yet.
Then where's my other phone, the one I normally use? Why do you have 2 phones, Shorty? You aren't using one of them to cheat on me, are you?
No, of course not. I would never.
Cheaters would never say they were cheating, though.
Cheryl, please, I mean it. Seriously, I wouldn't...
I'm kidding. You're not slick enough to cheat anyway. I wasn't aware of that phone, but maybe your old phone broke or something, so you bought a new one? The old one could be, like, back at your apartment.
I agree. This phone doesn't have any apps for dating, chatting, or social media installed. The address book is empty, too. It's good as new. Unfortunately, there's no trace of infidelity. What do you mean, unfortunately?
You'll have to give me the number and email address for your new phone later.
Oh, look at the time. Thanks for your help, cheerleader. I'll ask you to leave now.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Shorty, have you had dinner yet? Are you hungry at all?
No, I haven't eaten. I'm starving, actually.
Why don't I buy you something? There's a convenience store a 5-minute walk from here.
Seriously? I would appreciate that a ton, actually, but I don't know how I feel about asking you to run errands for me. Getting deja vu here. Should I ask her to do this favor for me or not? This doesn't seem like an especially important choice, but I have this intuitive feeling. If I get this choice wrong, something might happen later on that can't be undone. So what should I do? See, I want to get the bad ending. I feel like not asking her is what'll get the bad ending, but I don't want to ask her because I don't want to send her out in the darkness, so I'll not ask for the favor and then see if we get another version of that murdered ending. No, I'll be fine. I don't want to make you go out and walk around at this hour.
You're so nice, Shorty. Just let me know if you want anything and I'll go right out and buy it for you.
For now, cheerleader, we need you to leave the room. I'm going to talk to Shorty about what to do from here, including informing the police.
Okay, see you later, Shorty. Make sure you get your memories back soon so you can remember me.
All right, Shorty, what do you intend to do now? You believe that Shiro Satome, your girlfriend, was the culprit. So you wanted to identify the culprit yourself and make her confess. But at this point, that theory of yours has collapsed completely. As the cheerleader said, it's very possible that this present culprit is your stalker. That being the case, is there really any point in talking to the other Shiros? It might be best to call the police now and have them start their hunt for the real culprit as soon as possible. No, hang on. To you, it might seem like my theory about Shiro Satome being the culprit is broken down, but I disagree. Yes, the stalker is definitely suspicious. But I still think Shiro Satome is more suspicious than the stalker. Why? Were you not listening to anything the cheerleader said? Duplicate keys are easy to make, and anyone could have picked a lock in your apartment and snuck in. As for the smell, the culprit could have just happened to be wearing the same fragrance as one of the Shiros. That just means somebody other than Shiro Satome could have done it. It doesn't mean that she wasn't the culprit, right? You really seem determined that Shiro Satome must be the culprit. Do you want your girlfriend to be the one who did this? Like the cheerleader said, it could have just as well been somebody other than your girlfriend, so... Yes, she was right about the spare key and the smell. I'm well aware that the one who tried to kill me could have gotten in easily with a duplicate key or lock-picking tool, and that the smell thing isn't reliable. But the one who attacked me did just one thing that nobody, other than my girlfriend, Shiro Satome, could have done. Something nobody but Shiro Satome could have done? See, there are 5 different types of beverage in my refrigerator. Mineral water, green tea, apple juice, orange juice, and cola. I keep a variety around so I don't get sick of any of them. The sleeping pill was slipped into the cola. Out of the 5 different drinks, why was the cola the only one they drugged? Or maybe they slipped the drug into all of them? I doubt they put it in any of the other ones. Actually, they couldn't have put it in anything else. Oh, here we go again. Flunitrazepam dyes liquid blue when it dissolves. In anything other than cola, which is already dark, it would have been apparent the instant it was dropped in. So, what would have happened if I drunk anything other than the cola today? What would have... If you hadn't drunk the cola, you wouldn't have fallen asleep, so the culprit wouldn't have been able to do anything. The murder attempt itself would never have happened. Right? So how did the culprit ensure that I would drink the cola specifically today? And if the culprit wanted to attack while I couldn't move because of the drug, they would have had to have known when I drank the cola too. But from outside the apartment, there was no way of knowing what time I drank the drugged cola, right? Right, they wouldn't have been able to check until they entered the apartment. You don't think the stalker could have put cameras in there? Exactly, even if they drugged the cola beforehand, if they didn't know the time I drank it, there wouldn't be any point. And yet somehow, the culprit came to my place today with a tent and a charcoal briquette. That's some hefty, bulky stuff. Even though they didn't know whether I had drunk the cola and had fallen asleep yet, they just walked right in through the front door with no hesitation. Why do you think that is? The culprit knew with 100% certainty that I would drink the cola after 5 p.m. today. I always drink cola when I'm gaming. Ever since I started with this company, it's been my habit to set myself up with a bottle of cola and a bag of potato chips on the table and a controller in my hands. And as far as I can recall at this point, I haven't told any total strangers about this habit. I haven't even told my friends or my colleagues, just one person. And that one person is Shiro Satome, your girlfriend? That's right. You seem certain of that memory. I am. I may not remember Shiro Satome's face, but my memory of talking to her about it is clear. I mean, I feel like she could have told someone else. Anyone could have made a duplicate key or picked the lock and gotten into my apartment. It could be that they smelled the same because they were wearing the same perfume. The stalker could be a suspect. But the culprit was someone who felt certain that I would drink the cola today. And I couldn't believe that would be anyone other than Shiro Satome. Yes, all right. Considering the matter of the cola, it does seem highly probable that the culprit is Shiro Satome. Nevertheless, that doesn't eliminate the possibility that it could have been the stalker or some third party. Why didn't you bring up the cola thing sooner? Sorry, it only just occurred to me is why. The theory that Shiro Satome did it is still alive in my mind. Please let me keep trying to find the culprit. We may have cleared up the cheerleader's alibi, but that still leaves the girl with the pigtails and the black-haired girl. At least let me check their alibis, please. Fine, I'll let you keep on with it. Most doctors wouldn't agree to this many requests from their patients. You'd better be grateful. Of course. Level up! Oh, there's that familiar message alert tone. Another email from the unknown sender? Hurry up and see what it says. Right, reading time. Yet another completely inscrutable email. Are they trying to confuse me? Or... Here, doctor, read this. Send everyone home but the girl with the pigtails. Don't call the police. If you don't call them, I'll tell who the culprit is. The culprit is here. Send everyone home but the girl with the pigtails. Don't call the police. If you don't call them, I'll tell you who the culprit is. The culprit is here. What can we tell from the content of this email? Fixation on the girl with the pigtails. Sender's in the hospital. Sender is Shiro Satome. Sender knows the culprit. They claim to know the culprit. I'll pick that one. Sender must know the culprit, right? They said as long as we don't call the police, they'll tell us who it is. Even so, it could be they really do know who the culprit is and aren't just bluffing. But when I look at all this focus on the pigtail girl, it makes me think that she herself might be the sender. In any case, the sender is one of the 3 Cheryls. That much seems certain. Still, why aren't they giving their name? Should I try replying to the email like, who are you? I could also say, I'm not going to call the police, so please tell me who the culprit is. Yeah, go for it. Today is an auspicious day, for I, by some great fortune, have escaped death and been placed in a most blessed position. And, if you would grant me the knowledge of your name, I should account myself greatly obliged. I'm sorry, what century is it? After a good deal of careful deliberation, we have elected to postpone our report to the police. Last but not least, I shall pray for your continued success in life. Now you sound like a rejection letter for a job application. And send. You think I'll get a response? This is kind of exciting. I was worried that you might have been run ragged mentally, but apparently you're still present enough to screw around at the very least. Well, yeah, I'm tougher than I look, you know. I'm a die-hard, tenacious alpha male. From what I've seen of your interactions with the Cheryls, that's the last thing I'd say you are. So, which Cheryl will you call next? The original order was cheerleader, pigtails, black-haired girl, and the message sender has instructed you to go with the pigtail girl next. But you could also go against them and call the black-haired girl instead. The pigtail girl or the black-haired girl, which one will you call next? Time to choose. I feel like we could potentially get a bad ending here. I don't know what to pick. But if it's a bad ending, it'd probably be the same as the last one. No. Well, either way, I'm going to end this part here because the video's probably already going to be pretty long. So, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment, and I'll catch you next time.